downtown where you can get a date for 50, 60, 70, even 80% off the original social marketplace price. Now available in paperback and e-readers, All About Nikki, a fabulous first season. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air meets Clueless in this absolutely fabulous African-American 1990s teen sitcom. Get all 13 episodes of All About Nikki, the fabulous first season, in paperback and e-readers today. Actress Tia Mowry has decided to put a pause on dating. Now, after filming her new reality show, Tia Mowry, My Next Act, Tia Mowry has announced that she's putting a pause on dating because she's just not possibly having the fun that she expected to have in the dating marketplace. Now, in a statement that Tia Mowry made, she says that she put a little pause on dating at the moment because you really don't know why someone is dating you. When it becomes clear why someone is dating you through their behaviors, it's disappointing. And she says, I've realized that some people are attracted because there was some sort of infatuation growing up. Oh, this is the girl from Sister Sister. It's like, nah, I wanted you to know and me and love the real me when the makeup is coming off. I don't know what's more comical, the fact that Tia Mowry thought that she was going to be able to date real guys at 46 years old, or the delusion that she had that entering into the dating marketplace at 46 years old, she was going to find guys who were out here looking to get to know the real her. I mean, this woman basically is so caught up in a vacuum, she doesn't understand the realities of the social marketplace. And sadly, now that she's gotten some experiences as related to the social marketplace, she's finding out that the world of dating isn't what she expected. And I believe that's the real reason why Tia Mowry wanted to put a pause on dating, is that as she's entered into this social marketplace and found out the harsh realities of the social marketplace, she's finding out that the world of dating has completely changed from what she imagined in her mind. And sadly, all she had to do was go and talk to a guy like me as related to the social marketplace to understand the realities of it. But no, Tia didn't want to talk to anyone and wanted to experience the world of dating. And what she wants to do is now try to find a way to spin a way out of remaining in this dating marketplace now that she sees that the prospects aren't what she imagined them to be. Now, I believe that Tia Mowry basically wound up divorcing her husband, Corey Hardrick, 2 years ago because she thought she could go out here and possibly do better than Corey Hardrick because she was feeling insecure about Corey getting all of these acting gigs as he was working in Hollywood and as he was getting his own success and actualizing his own potential. She basically felt insecure about being in his presence, and as she felt insecure about being in his presence, she felt that she could go out here and find another partner who would look to be under her and submitted to her. And that's one of the reasons I believe that motivated her to want to divorce her husband to go out here and experience the world of dating. Unfortunately, as she looked to experience the world of dating, she wound up in a rude awakening. And I talk about this in my book, The Woman Crisis, and my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. Many modern women like Tia Mowry, when they get older and they divorce their husbands, they wind up in for a rude awakening when they enter the social marketplace because as they were the young, attractive girl back when they were in their 20s, they could command the attention of all the young guys in their 20s, and they're still thinking that they have the same high value that they had in their 20s. But when they start to look to re-enter the marketplace in their 40s, that's when they get the shock of their lives. They get the shock of their lives because now they are having to be confronted by this stiff competition from much younger women from later generations who are now in their prime, and they're also dealing with the prospects of having to deal with a pool of men who are in their age range that has shrunk significantly, and shrunk significantly because most of those men who were in that pool basically chasing them, these 40 plus women, when they were in their 20s, those men have left the social marketplace, and they've left the social marketplace either because they've gone out here and wound up getting married, or they've basically wound up leaving the social marketplace due to that marriage and building their own families, or others are in other types of long-term relationships with other girlfriends. So the pool of men, basically, where women would be able to go out here and have like 7 or 8 guys chasing them, is no longer there. And the guys who are left in the social marketplace, who are in their age range, these guys basically are just the sad scraps on the lot. These are basically the old Pookies, the old Ray Rays, the old Romy Romes, and that's what Tia basically was stuck with in the social marketplace when she divorced Corey Hardrick. All that was left were the old Pookies, old Ray Rays, and Romy Romes, and she's sitting there shocked. Oh, these guys have an infatuation with her being on Sister Sister. Well, these are the guys who are left in the social marketplace because these men basically don't know how to function. These men are socially awkward, or they're inept in some sort of way, and these guys basically, they are the kind of simp who is just caught up in the fantasy of a woman, and all they want to do is get with the fantasy that they've seen on television, because most of these guys are mostly men in crisis caught up in their own rose-colored reality, and that's what's left because, again, I'll repeat it once more, these are individuals who just cannot go out here and function as a man, cannot go out here and be the kind of man who can lead. No, old Pookie can't lead because he's codependent on his mama for his daily life as related to making decisions in life. So he's not in a place where he can lead. Old Ray Ray basically is a guy who could never get all of his stuff together to basically be able to set a direction for his own life. That's why he's working third shift security and basically out here just struggling to go out here and make ends meet. And Romy Rome just basically just goes out here scavenging for whatever girl who will go out here and drop the skid mark jockey draws or the skid mark jockey thong or the dollar store thong in exchange for some scrimp fried rice and chicken wings, a 2-piece dinner from the Arab red and white chicken place, or with somebody who will basically go for the extra value meal like McDonald's. I mean, these are the guys that are left in the social marketplace after all the quality men have gotten themselves together at Tia Mowry's age, and Tia Mowry basically being confronted with the realities of what's left in the social marketplace for a 40-plus-year-old woman now has been given that shock to her system, and this is why she wants to put a pause on dating, because she realizes that she's basically got herself in over her head, and with her getting herself in over her head, now she wants to get out of the world of dating, and now that she's out here again in this messed up place, she wants to put a pause on dating, and she should have basically put the pause on things when she looked to file for divorce. Because what's really sad about Tia Mowry is that she was a woman who basically couldn't appreciate who God had blessed her with in Corey Hardrick as a husband. God had blessed her with a husband in Corey Hardrick who was a man who was looking to be a head and looking to, again, be a part of God's order. Here was a man who was serving God and looking out for his family and caring for his family. But the problem with Tia Mowry is that she couldn't appreciate that husband. She couldn't appreciate that husband as he was looking to grow in his craft as an actor. Couldn't appreciate this man taking the lead in his life. and decided to go out here and end the act of her marriage as related to things, and end her marriage and go back into the world. And now that she realizes that she's stuck in a wilderness, basically wandering in that wilderness, as she's graduated from marriage, she basically is now living in sin, and now realizing that living in sin is not really benefiting her. No, it's not benefiting her to live in this sin, with where she's basically stranded with no prospects as related to a man. And this second act isn't going the way that she thought. No, what's happening to her is she's reaping what she sowed, later than what she sowed, greater than what she sowed, as related to this whole situation. And she put the seeds in the ground to end her marriage and looked to find better prospects, and arrogantly bragged about trying to find these better prospects, but there were no better prospects in that social marketplace. And I could have told her that from my years of research, writing books like Why 70% of Black Women Are Single and The Woman Crisis, that the quest for the better deal always leads to a raw deal for most of these women who go out here and walk away from their husbands and buy into the whole feminist idea. They'll find a better partner, think they'll find a better partner, but will find nothing at all, because in this world there are fewer men than women, and with there being 4 women for every 1 man, whenever a woman gets a husband, it's a blessing. And if you have a husband who isn't causing you trouble, then you need to appreciate that husband, and you need to appreciate the husband that God has given you, because it's better to have a husband that you're with, that God has blessed you to have, than to have no husband at all. And Tia Mowry is finding out that, as related to the harsh reality of experiencing the world of dating, a world she could have experienced right with her husband, because many women go out here and have date nights with their husbands. They experience the world of dating. I mean, women have been doing this ever since in the 20th century, since the 1940s. I mean, women have been leaving kids with babysitters, like or their mothers or their fathers, and letting the kids stay with their grandparents or stay with a babysitter. Then they'd go out and have a date night. They'd have the date night, enjoy the world of dating, experience the world of dating. Then, after experiencing the world of dating, go out here and take themselves into the home that they paid for, and they'd go out here and get buck naked, and the wife would go out here and drop the jockey draws, and he would get a nice taste of the special place, and again, not be in transgression with God, because you would be participating in relations as related to your marriage, and having a good time with each other, enjoying the company of your husband and your wife. This is what Tia Mowry could have had she done some critical thinking. She could have rekindled the relationship between her and Corey, but instead, what she tried to do was try to get with Pookie, and as she looked to get with Pookie and looked to experience the world of dating, she wound up in a world of hurt. And now what she wants to do is try to put a spin on things, because this is what women do. They try to put up a facade and make it look like things are going okay when they're going completely haywire. Whenever things are going completely haywire, what they do is go out here and use the word salad like Tia Mowry has done, talking about she puts a pause on dating at the moment, and the whole thing is if things aren't going the way she expected. No, what she had is this delusion that many women have who bought into Madison Avenue in Hollywood. They're thinking that they dumped their husband. When they're older, there'll be some high-value man who will be waiting for them, like they see in many of the movies, TV shows, and soap operas. They're thinking that there's going to be some high-value man out there making 6 figures who's going to be checking for them, when the reality is, if that guy was high value, he wouldn't be traveling in social circles looking for some older woman who's already been married and divorced. No, that high value man who's considered to be the top of the social marketplace is going to be looking for much younger women, because they're looking for a partner that will help meet their needs as related to building their family and their home. So Why would they look for somebody who's already been divorced and already has children? Critical question women like Tia Mowry don't ask themselves. I mean, when it comes to these kind of women, they really don't think. They don't think at all. And because they don't think, they just react emotionally. And as they react emotionally, they wind up creating a situation that doesn't benefit them. And that's what happened here with Tia Mowry. As she went out here, she got in her feelings about getting older, feared her mortality, and thought, oh, she'll make a second act that will lead to a climax. But sadly, the second act that she has will come to a very sad conclusion where she will just be in a place called Bust Downtown and have her social marketplace value basically drop 50, 60, 70, even 80% off the original social marketplace price. And in the case of Tia Mowry, her social marketplace value will drop 90% off the original social marketplace price. And she's basically, again, done at this point because the few guys that were out here who were not simps caught up in the fantasy of Tia Landry and see the real world, see that she's a woman they can't trust. And outside of the few simps who would look to go out here and give her a date for $40 or shrimp fried rice and chicken wings, there's no real prospects. And again, Tia Mowry, basically caught up in her fantasies, is stuck in a harsh reality where she's gone out here and gotten rid of her man, her protection, and her covering, and is now again lost spiritually and wandering in a wilderness where she's basically lost at this point. And if she does not go out here and repent of her sins and go talk to God, she will stay in that wilderness, continuing to be lost in a second act that will end in a sad, pathetic tragedy. Now, if you want to learn how to avoid the paradigm of failure that Tia Mowry put herself in, you can pick up my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find Why 70% of Black Women Are Single at other online booksellers like Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to learn why women like Tia Mowry will walk away from marriage and wind up in this place where they wind up imperiled as women in crisis, you can pick up my book, The Woman Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Woman Crisis at other online booksellers like Draft to Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you'd like to see me do more videos taking celebrities to the barbecue, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and Kindle, All About Marilyn. Learn all about the struggles of a faded former teen sitcom star in this absolutely fabulous 5-star screenplay. Get All About Marilyn in paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com today. Now available for the first time in paperback, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. Learn all the reasons why so many Black women can't find a husband and why 70% of Black women are single. Get your copy of Why 70% of Black Women Are Single on Amazon.com today. Now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book, The Man Crisis, comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.